Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Campaign Show. I'm your host, Patrick Howley, and an employee of Barack and Michelle Obama is dead. That's right. Reportedly, and we're still learning more and more news as it comes out, and obviously when you have a breaking story like this, there's a whole lot of spin, always, inevitably, that goes into the coverage, and there's all kinds of probably going to be inconsistencies and different rumors and theories out there. So we have to be very vigilant in making sure that we piece together this story as best we can. And it is tragic. A man employed by the Obamas, who was a chef in the White House reportedly, drowned in a pond on Martha's Vineyard, very close to Obama's big mansion, which he bought for almost $12 million. Because, it's such a tough job being a public servant, a community organizer, public servant. So he's got this almost $12 million pad on Martha's Vineyard in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, very wealthy area. And this man who has worked for him for a long time reportedly drowned while paddleboarding and was with someone else. And the 911 call reportedly came from Obama's house. So initially, 22 News, like CBS Boston, left out the Obama angle on the missing paddleboarder. Let's take a look at this early report from 22 News.
Authorities are searching for a 43-year-old man who went missing while paddleboarding in a pond on Martha's Vineyard on Sunday. Martha's Vineyard police arrived at Edgartown Great Pond just before 8 for a report of a paddleboarder that had gone into the water. Another person was with that man and witnessed him go under. That search will continue today.
So who was the other man who witnessed him go over? If you look at the Daily Mail article, which I read, apparently there's a theory that he was under the water, came back up, then went back down under the water. What exactly happened here? We have breaking, developing news. CBS Boston reporting that it was, in fact, an Obama White House chef. The Obamas have released a statement. They have identified the dead man. Let's take a look.
We begin with this breaking news. We have just learned that the paddleboarder whose body was pulled from Great Pond on Martha's Vineyard near former President Obama's home was one of the Obama's employees. State police just identified the victim as 45-year-old Tafari Campbell. Campbell was reported last night. His body was found this morning. The former president and first lady were not at the residence at the time of the accident. The Obamas, though, have released a statement in which they say they met Campbell when he worked at the White House as a sous chef, and they asked him to stay with them when they left Washington. In a statement, they write, "In the years that follow, we got to know him as a warm, fun, extraordinarily kind person who made all of our lives a little brighter. Our hearts are broken that he's gone." State police say this appears to be an accident.
Oh, state police say it appears to be an accident. Already? How do they know? How do they know? How do they know yet if this appears to be an accident? Who is the other guy? Who is the other guy who saw this happen? Oh, boy. I mean, look, Ed Buck, big Democrat donor. Remember, you had the dead black guys showing up at his house. A whole lot of people who are connected to the Clintons, I mean, dating back to Vince Foster, at least, have ended up dead. And if the 911 call came from Obama's house, well, then that means that there were people in Obama's house who were responding to what happened on the pond. Did this chef live at this residence on Martha's Vineyard? Was he a live-in? If not, then what was he doing there if Barack and Michelle reportedly were not there? Right? So, a lot of unanswered questions, and we need to figure out, first of all, where was Barack and Michelle when this happened? What's the official story of where they're going to say they were, and is there evidence that perhaps they were somewhere else? We need to really, really look into this. Now, over the years, there have been lots of rumors about Obama and, on the internet. And, Obama's a very shady guy. Obama's a very, very shady guy and is certainly connected with some of the most nefarious, evil oligarchs in this world. I never thought Obama in and of himself was all that powerful, but he was obviously a stooge and continues to be a stooge. I mean, continues to be a political operative, working for the globalists, working for all of our destruction on this planet on behalf of the globalist elites in the New World Order. And you have TMZ even in their graphic showing Barack and Michelle, with a little pond scene. So, I mean, is the media going to do their jobs well? Rhetorical question. We know that most of the media is not going to do the jobs they say they're going to do. Their job is to spin, of course. That's their real job. But we need to figure out what's going on here. We really do need to figure out what's going on here. Of course, we had Ted Kennedy, had his Chappaquiddick incident, and there have been all kinds of weird deaths around politicians over the years. Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe, for instance. I don't know if you knew this, but there was a woman, I believe her name was Lori Klasudas, who worked for Scarborough, who I guess fell and hit her head in his congressional office. Of course, President Trump pointed that out. I'd like to see what President Trump has to say about this. It seems like the kind of thing that Trump would talk about. So don't let the media off the hook. There's going to be a lot of spin. We know that. Okay. We know that. Oh, so state police, Massachusetts State Police, they're saying it appears to be an accident. What about the local police? A lot of unanswered questions here. So feel free in the chat to discuss this. We're certainly going to be covering it. I have a darn good feeling that we're going to be talking about this on the show again tomorrow and probably the next day as well, as we really try to get to the bottom of what's going on here. But, I mean, it seems really, really odd. If somebody else was paddleboarding with this guy and this guy falls into the water, did his companion have a cell phone with him? Was the companion's cell phone in service? How did this work? I mean, were there life jackets? I mean, there's just a lot of really weird stuff. He drowned? They couldn't save him? He drowned? I mean, is this like the end of Titanic where Kate Winslet just lets Leonardo DiCaprio freeze in the water? She could have let him on that little ice block or whatever it was. Or was she on a lifeboat? She kind of let him die, I think, at the end of Titanic. If you look into it, if you remember that film. All right, we've had our fun, Irishman, into the freezing water with you. So a lot of questions here, and just as with the White House cocaine scandal and other scandals like it, we're going to be following it here in the campaign show very closely. Meanwhile, the Democrats are just kind of losing their minds in general. It's been happening for a while. This is nothing new, but they're finding new and ridiculous ways to embarrass themselves. New York Mayor Eric Adams, who we've shown on this show, having a total freak out at some woman. Some lady asked about, the high rent prices in New York, and he accuses her of being a plantation owner. I am not on a plantation that you own, ma'am. I'm a grown man. He was ready to snap. He's a little unbalanced, evidently. And here is Eric Adams making a very weird joke about, I guess, having sex with homeless people.
Mr. Mayor,
yes, sir.
24-year-old man Curtis Davis was found on the spot.
Thank you. She said I'm messing with homeless people. You know that? One should be happy if someone wants to make love to them. Go ahead.
What? Pause.
Oh my God. There's a lot going on here. Somebody heckling Eric Adams. Sounds like let's just watch this again because there's just so much going on. I guess heckling him about his treatment of the homeless or about the homeless crisis in New York City. And then he makes a joke that just goes beyond anything I would imagine a person would say. Let's take a look.
Mr. Mayor,
yes, sir.
24-year-old man Curtis Davis was found on the spot.
Thank you. She said I'm messing with homeless people. You know that? One should be happy if someone wants to make love to them. Go ahead.
So, Eric Adams getting heckled, the person saying, F you, a-hole, and then something about homeless people. Eric Adams then replying that he is being accused of messing with homeless people. And then, I guess, maybe he's admitting, or is it a joke, or is he admitting that he has intercourse with homeless people? And then says, basically, that we should be thankful, or that they should be thankful. The homeless people should be thankful that Eric Adams is having sex with the homeless people in this narrative.
Somebody's got to do it.
That's why I'm the man for this job. The people elected me to have sex with these homeless people. What is happening? What is happening in this country? When is this going to stop? When is the mania going to stop? When can we go back to normalcy? Never. Never is the answer. It's never going to go back to normal. It's never going to go back to the way you thought it was going to be. The White House lady wearing very aggressive orange yet again and discussing this tyranny that they're going to roll out regarding people's water heaters.
On appliances. So from this administration, we've seen them go after gas stoves, air conditioning units with regulation, refrigerators, washing machines, dishwashers, now water heaters. How many more home appliances will Americans eventually have to replace then because of regulations?
So just to be clear, when it comes to water heaters, and it is proposed, what has been put forward, and if it is enacted, it would not take it into effect until 2029. So
Always with the orange. You know, in nature, orange is a very aggressive color. Animals often show orange in order to scare off predators, in order to have kind of an aggressive defensive posture. And so I would advise the White House lady, maybe, come on, purple or blue or something, always with the orange, you know, very bellicose. But yeah, I mean, I guess when you're messing with people's water heaters at this point, they don't really care too much about what the public thinks. They don't really care. So who even knows what it's going to be tomorrow? I mean, could just be some more ridiculous nonsense. I mean, maybe they'll blame one of the White House tour guests for the dead man on Martha's Vineyard. Because the media has been blaming the White House tour guests for the cocaine that was found in the White House, even though the Secret Service, just couldn't figure it out. Couldn't figure it out. And by the way, wouldn't the Secret Service have a presence at Martha's Vineyard? And, well, if they couldn't crack the cocaine scandal, then they're not going to be able to figure that one out, right?
It could be the same guy.
So he goes and leaves cocaine in the White House and then goes and kills the paddleboarder in Martha's Vineyard?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
the press will just report whatever that these people say. So, but it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Interesting, too, that the media didn't report on the Obama angle at first, right? With the dead paddleboarder. Very interesting. Oh, we're just looking for a missing guy. Just a missing guy in the water. And now we know, of course, a chef. I wonder what he was cooking for Obama. Wonder who he was cooking up for Barry. But hopefully the investigation will be thorough, and maybe there are some bathhouses in Martha's Vineyard and, some local scenes that they can look into. But, we're just going to report the facts. We're just going to report the facts here as they come in. And, of course, there's a lot of spin coming in, so we have to hold these people accountable. But a whole lot of speculation and skepticism going on about the official narrative of events. So, and this is a great opportunity, by the way, to be citizen journalists and to really, get into an issue that the media is obviously not going to tell you the truth about, largely. Get in there and investigate and figure it out. And do you have friends in Martha's Vineyard? Can you do some shoe leather reporting? So here at Campaign Show headquarters, we're in the process of trying to get to the bottom of this, trying to sleuth exactly what happened on that pond. If there even was a pond, or maybe, who knows if it was paddleboarding or if he ended up in the pond, maybe he was somewhere else. Did someone throw him in the pond? I mean, if you're the police, you can't shut down any theory right away. You really need to look into it, but, probably the police are not going to do their job, so it's up to citizen journalists. And no one's coming to save us. That's the thing that we have to realize here. It's up to us. It's up to us. We are the people who we seek in order to save us, because no one's coming to save us. There's no Prince Charming. There's no magical, dashing prince who's going to kiss Snow White and bring her back to life. In the new movie, actually, the classic Snow White ending. Because I believe, she eats the poison apple, if I'm not mistaken, right? In the Disney, she eats the poison apple, she falls into a coma, and then the prince comes by and kisses her, and then, frees her of the magic spell, right? Saves her?
Pretty much, yeah, something like that.
And,
I don't think it was an apple.
Well, there's no dashing prince in this one to save her. She's just gonna have to pull herself up by her bootstraps and become a girl boss and go, work 9 to 5 like Dolly Parton, and try to make it on her own, according to some of the people involved with the latest Snow White movie.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she
That's
was
awful.
fearless, fair, brave, and true.
She's actually going to wear a Hillary Clinton pantsuit in this version, and she's going to, power walk to the song Fight Song. This is my fight song. I covered the Hillary Clinton campaign for Breitbart in 2016, and I would have to go around to a lot of these Hillary Clinton rallies. Obviously, I was not a fan of Hillary Clinton. And, it was so insufferable watching these wine moms. And this is when I first really understood the phenomenon, the epidemic, the pandemic of these box wine, cat food eating, Rachel Maddow moms who get drunk on wine, and they're such awful dancers, and it's always Katy Perry, or it's this fight song. This is my fight song. Yeah, I'm Trump. You can't beat us with your mean words. Me, 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 me. It was insufferable. They're tripping and, traipsing around and off balance, and, they think they're dancing, and it's their, girls' night out. A lot of these, women who are really, really up there in years, watching the Rachel Maddow. Good Lord, I'm glad Hillary Clinton lost. I know that was a long time ago, but good Lord, I'm so happy that Hillary Clinton never became the president of the United States. Although she's still out there. She's still lurking. I think about that sometimes. She didn't get locked up. She's still out there. She's on the loose. She's out there scheming, plotting. Someone that evil is still like the witch in the woods. Don't go near the woods. That's where Hillary lives. Don't go near Hillary, right? Ugh. Stay away from me. Well, a whole lot of horror is going on all around us. Absolute horror, ladies and gentlemen, including a lot of people collapsing, dying suddenly. This is a soccer analyst for ESPN collapsing on the air.
Summer, he's been left behind. He's on the naughty step from PSG. He's not gone on the tour of Japan. What do you see? Shaq!
Wow. We have seen this a lot in the vaccine age. And what's happening with Jamie Foxx, by the way, with his health?
Oh, bro's got the lipid nanoparticle look.
That's what people think. That's certainly, we have seen a lot of vaccine injuries, and we've seen a lot of people collapsing in the vaccine age, especially athletes. But, it just cuts across all genres. You have Al Roker, America's jolly weatherman, missing the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade because of blood clots. And this is a guy who got vaccinated on the air. Get your vaccine, guys, being the tubby, Care Bear, vaccine shill, vaccinated on the air, missed the Thanksgiving Day Parade due to blood clots. I don't think the globalists even are capable of covering this up at this point. Obviously they're going to try because they censor us so much with this so-called vaccine misinformation that they accuse us of. But it's not misinformation. We know what the hell is going on. And, regardless of what happened with that particular incident, obviously, the phenomenon of people dropping and collapsing, having blood clots, massive clotting in their veins, previously healthy people, getting strokes, getting heart attacks. We know what's going on. It was a clot shot, ladies and gentlemen. And even Al Roker has the blood clotting. Poor Al Roker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so much is going on that is so wrong with the world, obviously, that, sometimes we like to show you some content. It's going to put a smile on your face. This put a smile on my face. A bear seeing his own reflection. That was hilarious. Well, ladies and gentlemen, It's a great honor and thrill to be here with you on the campaign show every weekday. I hope you had a really good weekend. If you want to power chat me, I'm not a rich man, that's for damn sure. There are certain forces in our society that have seen to that. But you could power chat me if you want. You can go to Instagram.com/the.campaignshow. You can follow me on gab.com/PatrickReports. And hope to God I'll still be on Twitter, twitter.com/HowleyReporter, because I know that some people are getting banned recently, and I guess they don't call it Twitter anymore. So hopefully I'll stay on X. But, I appreciate being back on the platform. I hope I do stay. I really do. But I know they've got a new CEO. But I like the technology. And I have to sell you a gun holster, and I want to sell you a gun holster, and we're going to do this. There are a lot of gun holsters out there that are not as good as Vanish gun holsters. VNSH.com/Patrick. A lot of times a gun holster is so uncomfortable, maybe you've experienced this, that people just stop carrying, and that's not good because then you're not carrying, and you need to carry to be able to, have peace of mind of having defense if, God forbid, something were to go wrong. So this Vanish gun holster is extremely comfortable. Thousands of customers say it's the most comfortable ever. Once you get one, you'll never stop carrying, and it saves you money. It fits 99% of all semi-auto handguns. It works without a tactical belt. It lets you carry in multiple positions, and it carries 2 fully loaded magazines. Usually it's $130. I'm going to give you $50 off, sell it to you for $80. VNSH.com/Patrick. If you love me and you need a gun holster, there you go. So yes, I am doing a commercial, but it's for a good product that we have checked out, and very, very good people who want to help the campaign show, help truth get out there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am never going to stop telling the truth unless I guess they just tie me up, put a ball gag in my mouth, and just keep me hostage somewhere. I guess, it would be harder for me to kind of get the truth, write my articles and whatnot, but I'll still try, definitely, I guess until I'm dead. They won't be able to stop me, really. So I am, of course, alive, and you're alive, and every minute that we are alive is an opportunity to try to live up to the expectations that God has for us when He designed us in His image. So thank you so much for watching this show. We're going to get to the bottom, hopefully, of this dead man in the pond on Martha's Vineyard. An Obama employee. The mystery is just beginning, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow.